Hey guys, Chuck at chuckit.com, and today I want to talk to you about lighting for your videos. Now, if you have poor lighting with your videos, then you're going to ultimately end up with really poor quality looking video, and the result is going to be people are going to be looking at your video and going, wow, I don't know what he's selling, but I'm not interested, and they're going to go on to the next video. They're looking for people who are presenting themselves professionally. Now, it doesn't cost an awful lot of money to do that, but it certainly makes a huge difference in the results you're going to get. Now, this first opening slide here, this is more like in a TV studio or a setting where you have somebody doing, professional lighting. He's got the track lights up on the roof with the lights, and over here he's got the large white rollout screen and his lights off to the side here. This is a really nice setup, but you know what? You do not need to have this kind of a setup to do really nice videos. So I'm going to show you a simple lighting map that you can use at home. Now, imagine that you have an open background behind you. So here you are standing here looking into the camera, and behind you is a swimming pool, or perhaps maybe you're in a park, maybe you're standing out on your lawn. What doesn't really matter where you are. As if you're outside, you don't need to have any lighting. The sunlight is more than it's all you need. Natural light is the best light you can get for video. Now, if you're indoors, you may want to have, and I put them as optional, you may want to have additional lighting here pointing at your background. So if this was a wall, like for example a green screen, you may want to have these lights here, because what's going to happen is these lights here that are in the front, they're going to be hitting you and they're going to be casting shadows on this green screen. And that makes it very difficult when you're going to work with your green screen, when you go to remove colors, the green out of the background. And I'll get into that in a future video, but just know that you need to have these additional lights to make sure you don't have any shadows in the back. But if you're not planning to do green screen, then you may not need that. Now, I would suggest that you make sure your background looks tidy. Don't have a kitchen full of dirty dishes or a living room that looks like a cyclone hit it. Give your background a professional look. You get one chance to make a great first impression. So this is your opportunity to do that. So what is critical is you do have these two front lights, and I would suggest that you have them mounted so that they're pointed down at you from the side, as opposed to being from the floor looking up at you or horizontally directly to you. Give them more of an upward, have them pointed down at you, so they're going to be above your head, or at least very close to that. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now, how are you positioned in the camera? And I've done this in the past, not knowing any better, where I had this huge amount of space between my head at the top of the video screen. I was just like a little, like a very tiny person, down at the bottom of the screen. It looks really very, very unprofessional. So you might have a book stand in the background or whatever it is in the background, and it's really dominating the screen. Do not do this one, okay? When you do your video, make sure that you're just a few inches from the top of the screen, and I would suggest to have yourself more over to the side than in the middle. And we'll go to the next screen here. Now, this is really critical, that when you're doing your video, you're looking directly into the camera. Your audience, now this guy here could represent your audience, okay? This fellow here is looking directly into the camera, and because he is, this person over here, he's more inclined to watch him. And I don't know if you've ever had a conversation with somebody who they're always checking their watch, or they're looking to the left, looking to the right, looking up, looking down, when they're talking to you, and you just kind of feel like maybe you're intruding on them, and you just feel like you want to leave. It's very disrespectful if you're having a conversation with somebody and they're talking to you, but they never look at you. Now, that's exactly what's happening over here. Now, he may have been looking into the screen, but now he's looking down at something. In this case, I don't know if he's got a little iPad there or what, but he's trying to, figure out what he's supposed to say next when he goes to look in the camera. And you might think you're being really sneaky, just kind of looking very subtly off to the left or subtly off to the right, and nobody's going to notice. Well, guess what? They notice, and you just lose people very quickly. You want to make sure that you're giving the person that you're talking to, and really when you're doing your video work, you want to be talking into the camera like you're talking to one person, not talking to a crowd or 1,000 people or whatever. You want to be talking to one person, and you want to look into that camera the same way as if you were sitting across from your best friend and you're having a conversation. Okay. Now, I know from personal experience, when I first started doing this, I had my script off to the side of my screen, so my camera on my computer was just a little bit off to the side of it, so I could, kind of glance over, and I was trying to read verbatim, and then I thought, well, that's not working too good. I'll do point form, and you really, at the end of the day, point form and trying to read line by line, it's just not a very professional way to do it. And that means in order to get your script right when you're reading, when you're speaking into the camera, you need to practice what you're going to say. And you want to be relaxed. I know one person who was a coach of mine teaching me how to do video. He said, put your hand over your heart and breathe in and out 5 times and relax. Okay? And just, you want to be comfortable with the camera. So if you have to say your script, what you've wrote out, your speech, whatever it is you're going to be saying, 100 times to get it right, do it the 100 times. After you've done this a while, pretty soon speaking into the camera is going to feel a lot more natural, and you're not going to be worried about, did I say exactly what I was going to say? You want to have kind of an outline in your mind, and then just simply go from there. And like I said, practice until you can go through your speech or your presentation without having to read what it is you're going to say. Okay, the next thing I want to share with you is some equipment. These are different lighting setups you can get. 2 umbrella stands, one here, that come in a set, and only $49.99. They have a little fluorescent light here. It gives you a very nice natural light. And that's what you want. You don't want to have a floodlight. I've tried. I thought I got this heavy-duty floodlight, and I screwed it into a pole lamp, and I thought, there we go. I've got my lighting, problem solved. It looked like I was getting interrogated, by a SWAT team or something. But that's not what you want. So the next one is this larger setup, and I have a set of these as well. Now, I'm not sure if they've changed them, but in mine, they have 4 fluorescent bulbs, and they give off a very natural light. Now, it's not as good as sunlight, but you know what? It's probably the closest you're going to get. It's a great way to go, and really, the top one here is only $49.99, and the one below here, a bit better set, is only $119. So you're not talking about a lot of money. Now, if you're only doing 1 or 2 videos, well, go find somebody that's got this stuff. But if you're going to be doing videos over and over again, it just makes sense that you have your own lights so that when you do your video, it looks professional. Okay, and the last thing that I want to share with you is a green screen, and they come in different colors. And the idea behind a green screen, and I'm going to go into this in more depth in a future training video, but essentially what you're going to do is when you're shooting at a green screen, you'll be standing in front of it. The green, what we're doing is we're going to wipe it out, and you basically are now a cutout. You basically are standing in front of nothing, and then what we do is we bring in a background and put it in behind you. So we could literally take you and put you in front of the Eiffel Tower. We could take you and put you in front of a river, maybe a tsunami, whatever you want. It's pretty cool, the kind of effects. And like I said, we'll get into that as we go along. And again, not a very expensive investment. $22.99. You can get them in white if you want to have a white background. And a lot of people I know that do video work will put themselves in front of a white background. And then, of course, there's a stand. Now, if you take a look, and it's kind of hard maybe to tell, but up at the top here, it's kind of like it's set up for a curtain rod. And I got one through a curtain rod, and I got another one through a wooden pole. But here's a stand, and this is pretty cool. It's only 59 bucks, and it collapses. The whole thing goes into this little carrying case. You throw your green screen in it, and off you go. And again, $59.99, and your green screen $22.99, and that's all you need. So that's all I want to share with you on this training session. If you have any questions about this particular video, don't hesitate to get a hold of me, and I look forward to seeing you on the next training video. So you take care and make it a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.